one phone with the assessor is here. Let's call myself. Yeah, I call myself. Jesus.
She's right here. Hang on, please.
Unfreaking believable.
It's one of those. We can't tell. It's dark. You get up in the morning.
What's in that line, please? Okay. Start this off. Affidavit of publication in Batavia Daily News, Orleans County Notice of Public Hearing, legal notice, notice of hereby given that the preliminary budget for the year 2023 has been filed in the office of the town clerk, 14317 Westbury Road, where it is available for review by interested parties. Further notice is hereby given that the town board of the town of Berry will hold a public hearing on the 23rd, on the 2023 budget on the 7th day of November 2022 at 6 p.m. at the Berry Town Hall. The proposed salaries of the following officers are hereby specified as follows. Supervisor, $9,364, council persons, 4 of them totaling $9,248, one town justice at $12,485, town clerk tax collector at $32,298, highway superintendent $64,832 by order of the town board, town of Berry, Maureen Beach, town clerk. We also have the affidavit of publication, Batavia Daily News, Orleans County Public Notice. A proposed local law public notice is hereby given that there has been presented to the town board of the town of Berry, New York, proposed local law number 3 of 2022, entitled Town of Berry Local Law to Override the Tax Levy Limit. It is the intent of this local law to override the limit on the amount of real property taxes that may be levied by the town of Berry pursuant to General Municipal Law 3-C, and to allow the town of Berry to adopt a budget for the fiscal year 2023 that requires a real property tax levy in excess of the tax levy limit as defined by General Municipal Law 3-C. Please take further notice that on the 7th day of November 2022 at 6 p.m., the town board of the town of Berry, New York, will conduct a public hearing at the Berry Town Hall, 14317 West Berry Road in the town of Berry, New York, for the purpose of considering the advisability of enacting said proposed local law, at which time and place all persons interested will be heard. Please take further notice that this notice represents only a summary of the said proposed local law. A complete copy of the proposed local law is on file at the office of the town of Berry Town Clerk, 14317 West Berry Road, and is available for public inspection during regular office hours. By order of the town board, town of Berry, Maureen Beach, town clerk, dated October 20th, 2022. I know doing returns. This ordinance. Okay. Tom, if you had a chance, you loved it. Good. I think it's the first time when there's been absolutely other than Tom is. But Tom is somebody. He's not a nobody. Sure, they can, but not completely. So in case someone does pick up and say, "Hey, I got a question." Okay. No, you always ask for the electronics. Here. There was one, I think there was, did you put a copy on mailboxes a week or so ago? You or Lee? You didn't get one? No, you weren't here anymore. This meeting really so much. State order book.
Do we have one with just like with what been changed, highlighted? Cause what was,
You guys, I sent you the last copy there
right, so that's what I have pulled up right here, is what you sent out.
with the 2% change,
Yes, and
the full budget.
yes,
Because the one I did a little check with 1%, it had nothing to do with the line items whatsoever. That's why I only sent you single pages of what was changed.
yeah, which I'd like to talk about that.
We will have a chance for that after.
That's fine. But yeah, so what I'm looking at there, it does not show like. It has. Doesn't have. It has it in blue. But like, how come the property tax amount revenue is decreased $10,000 from the preliminary to the adopted? Very first,
I think you're looking at the 1% versus the 2%. That's why it would decrease. If you go to 1%, it'd be a decrease.
so, so the way that you sent out, cause I thought you were saying that what you sent out was the not approved and it was just the, because when we, well, we don't have to get into that quite yet,
Not
but-
right now, it's supposed to be,
So just what we have, just so that I understand what we're looking at. What we're looking at for the preliminary property taxes, the 359,231, that is what you're saying is at a 2% increase. And if we're looking at the adopted, the $348,831, that is looking at the, looking at a 1% increase instead of a 2%. Cause that doesn't, I don't think that. Wait, really. So it's, for those. For the board members, I think you did. This would be the one.
I remember a copy, but I thought it was only on the 2% only that went into their mailboxes.
So.
Hard copies. That was it.
What I'm looking at is the email, this is from. So maybe that is. Right, so my understanding, so you attach the 2022 1102 budget, not yet approved. That's the date that you put on, I'm just reading what you have it saved as. So that you know which one I'm talking
And my emails.
about. I have it pulled up here and. Right here. You had sent out the pricing numbers. So the adopted is a 1%? It's not officially adopted yet. But I'm just
That-
trying to
yeah, that's the
clarify
1%.
so for this, does, just so as I'm looking down and understanding where things are changed and just looking through it, this is just to
That's
compare a
one, because
2% to
what we talked
1%.
about is RTO. That's RTO. Which is $500 a month, but not knowing when it's exactly going up, we should get about 3,000 of revenue coming in from. Normally it'd be 6,000 a year once it's up and
Right.
running. But I wasn't gonna put any more than 3,000 in for that. And that's the 1% budget.
And this is, we did sign it. Right?
Yes.
And then, okay. So then, here. What we did is just that in the preliminary, so this is what what you proposed originally.
Yes.
Then this is with the changes other than this going down in the unexpended balance from the 86,000 to the 76,000. and with the addition of this 3,000. Those are these two are the only differences.
We can shift that, I get the 2,000, or the other one down.
Okay.
Hold on.
Because
Okay.
um, and then so what my what I was wondering about is that like in order to stay under the 2%, I wasn't necessarily saying we had to go with 1%. Like we could be at like 1.9.
The tax cap is 1.01%. 1%. That's the maximum we can go. We go to 1.02%, and then we're over the tax cap.
So,
Well, you were saying percentage, that's why I was,
right, but 2% is the tax cap. We can do a
No.
1.98% increase. We can do a
No.
1.99%.
no, you beat it.
We can't go over 2.
For the town of Berry, a 2% tax cap, max equals 1.01%. That's the maximum we can go up to.
No,
Well, no,
that doesn't make any sense.
one would be 1%.
Right, 1.01 is a 1% increase. We can do, so what I'm saying is, we can do a 1.05 or 1.015. Like you go out
That
to
would be,
the
that would be
thousands
1.5%.
place instead of the hundreds place. And so it would be a 1.5% increase. You can do a 1.5% increase, it's less than 2.
No,
You could do a 1.9% increase, it's less than 2.
I know they call it a 2% tax cap, but the maximum we can go, it is right there, tax base growth factor, the maximum we can go, it's 1.0001%. That's the maximum we can go. That's it.
The
And if
tax-based growth factor, that's not the same thing as a tax cap.
That's the number they use for the tax. I'm sorry, right here.
I was gonna say, this,
There we go.
This
The
is not-
allowable levy growth factor, 1.02.
so
That's
this,
it.
this,
That's 2%.
right, that's 2%, so we can do 1.019. We can do 1.015. What I'm saying is, it does make a difference, because if they're not saying, you don't have to stick with a whole number when you're talking about going through this and doing this. They're saying as long as you're under 2% of an increase, you can do a 1.5% increase, you can do a 1.9% increase. So all that I was asking when I called you was not to say, okay, we have to be at 1%. No, it was just literally saying, we're 8,000.
One second.
Yep.
I got to turn my phone off.
So this is saying that by having, right now, our budget is, because our tax list,
If we're at 2%, 2%, we would be over the tax cap by $8,800. That's a 2% increase.
right, so what I'm saying is that if we take that $8,840 and we look at what you had originally proposed in the tentative budget, if you look at the unexpended balance line with the preliminary versus the tentative, so we're looking at the 2023 preliminary versus the tentative. Tentatively, when you proposed the budget to us, you said that we're anticipating potentially, ideally, but potentially taking out $86,818 from our fund bank. However, then when we went back through and, changed some of the numbers and the line items and stuff, then we go back and it decreases our unexpended balance by 76,958. Well, that's where.
We did 2%.
Right, with the 2%. So that's where if we say, okay,
And then this one's a little one.
but if we say, cause we're only over by 8,000, right? So if we're only over by 8,840, then why don't we increase this 8,840
Well, we're over.
and decrease this 8,840 and balance these out?
So what you're saying is take more money out of fund balance, which is.
No, I'm saying take, but look at, what I'm saying is I'm proposing what you were proposing, it's actually gonna be less than you kind of proposed.
Theory.
That was before that, we were over 8,840 before we looked at the budget and took a bunch of things out. We shouldn't be that high now, even if we just went with the budget that we had, with what we took out. We should be lower than, much lower, and then we could do the general fund thing and even it right out. That's. They haven't changed anything from that 8,840. That 50,000 is still in there,
You know, 50,000 was taken out. That was ARPA funds. You said no for revenue and I pulled it out.
Right,
But
but this is still the same one here. I guess they don't have this new one. Where's that?
Those are the single sheets I've sent you. Doesn't show all the line items.
Okay.
But I do
Okay,
think that we can,
Can I stop right here
Okay.
for a minute and then we can go back to discussion? Because, unless Tom, you got something? Okay, what I will do is I'm gonna close the public hearing then. Nobody is showing up and it has been 20 minutes since we opened up and nobody has come in other than Tom. Thank you, Tom. So therefore, motion to close the public hearing. Margaret, Dave. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Public hearing is closed on the budget.
That's both.
Both public hearings, yes, I'm sorry. Stop screen. Turn off the microphones. You turned it off. Why won't microphones turn off? No, because we gotta go into the workshop next.